Immigration reform is back on the front burner with renewed vigor. The White House announced today that President Barack Obama will begin his push to fix the immigration system next week. Joining me now is Fronteras senior editor Alisa Barba. Alisa, immigration reform pretty much fell by the wayside during the presidential campaign last year. And then suddenly after the election, Obama says this is going to be one of his top priorities in his second term. And Republican senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham say that they're recommitting themselves to the issue. What happened? What changed? Is this simply about Latino voters?
Well, you know, it wasn't so much on the back burner during the election campaign. There was a lot of concern because Latinos were very unhappy because it was on the back burner during the first 4 years of the Obama administration. He had made promises about immigration reform and he had not fulfilled those promises. He had some, you know, you remember the policy, the deferred action policy, which allows young people who were brought here illegally in a certain age, it allows them to get work permits. So that was kind of a gift to the Latino electorate. What happened was that the sleeping giant woke up. You know, hello, 71% of Latinos voted in favor of Barack Obama, and the GOP, the Republicans, basically within days after the election began to talk about, well, let's talk about immigration reform. So yes, it really is about politics. It's about giving something back to an electorate that put Obama back in, or helped put Obama back in the White House. But it's also dealing with, you know, a reality of a system that has a lot of problems, that is not meeting the needs of the people who want to come here and the people who need workers.
So what will the president likely propose? What will reform look like?
Well, we have some idea of what the elements of a proposal will be. The devil, of course, is going to be in the compromise, in the compromise and the negotiations that happen with both sides. I don't like using Democrat and Republican on this issue because it's really not it's not a party issue. There are people who favor more restrictive immigration laws and people who favor more flexible, more open immigration laws. The president is going to deal with a number of issues. The first one is going to be what's known as a path to citizenship. There's 11 million people who are here already. We're not going to deport them wholesale, and we have to deal with the fact that they are here without proper documentation, and we need to provide some kind of path to legalization or path to citizenship. How long that will take and what the details are, it's going to be a big part of the debate. Border security, border enforcement. We want to make sure that the border is as secure as it can possibly be. We've spent more on that in the last few years than on any other federal law enforcement agency, $18 billion, I think it was, in the last year. Arguably, the border is as secure as it ever can be. However, and here's the thing, is that the number of apprehensions of illegal immigrants crossing has fallen to its very, very lowest level. So there are not that many people coming in. That's because of the economy more than anything else. It's also because of stricter border enforcement.
Well, let's talk about the economy a little bit. One of the most contentious arguments against immigration reform comes from people who say, look, if you allow these undocumented immigrants to stay in the United States, whether that be through a guest worker program, path to citizenship, or some kind of legal status, they are going to take away jobs from Americans. The Fronteras desk, of which you're a senior editor, is airing a series right now on reform. What are those stories revealing about this topic?
It's very interesting. I mean, we often hear that they're going to take jobs away from Americans, but here's the reality. They are here, and they're already in the workforce. I think they think that 8 to 9 million of the 11 million who are here are already working. They're not going to be taking jobs away because they're already part of the labor force. There is some competition for the lowest skilled jobs, like in construction and in agriculture, but actually, and I know this is a cliche, the fact is that it's hard to find enough Americans, legal workers, to take those jobs. That's what we're hearing from industry.
So, you know, there was a poll that came out this week by AP showing that 2/3 of Americans believe that a path to citizenship should be opened up for undocumented immigrants. Is this a shock?
I don't think it's a shock. No, I am a little wary of those polls because path to citizenship, what does that mean? As I keep saying, I think the devil is in the details. Marco Rubio, Republican senator from Florida, is also talking about some kind of path to citizenship, path to legalization. But he says it's not an amnesty. It's not letting them off the hook. They're going to have to pay substantial fines. It's going to take a long time. They're going to have to jump through a lot of hurdles. So again, what that's going to look like, and does it mean citizenship, which actually has political ramifications, because if 11 million people suddenly become citizens and can vote, who are they going to vote for?
Very quickly, I want to jump in here and make a prediction. Are we going to have an immigration reform package approved by Congress by the end of the year?
I think so. I think so, yeah.
Alisa Barba, thank you so much.